right, so let's take a look at what we got going on so far. So it's a mess in here now. Did a bunch of sanding. This wall got its final skim coat, so it's floated all the way. This wall got textured. It's still drying. Kind of hard to see, but show you some of the spots here. Now I'm gonna sand out the ridges. You got a couple of rosettes up there. It's pretty smooth, but just, you know, some spots like that. Now, of course, once it dries, this still needs to be finish sanded. There's some couple spots of texture. I think it looks really good, you know, stuff like that. We're gonna sand it out nice and easy, and then this will be ready for priming. This wall needs texture. This bathroom did not dry in the corners. So this still needs at least one, maybe two more coats of mud before I can texture it. So unfortunately, basically where I'm at is I'm going as far as I can for what we've talked about, and we're gonna get this done, and then anything else is gonna have to be on a new bid. I'm gonna honor the bid that I have, but it's summertime now and I'm doing more, so I could cut corners and go a little quicker to try and make up the money difference, but I chose not to do that. So I think the texture came out really good in here. This wall is textured. You know, you have some spots like that. This wall is textured. And it needs to be sanded out. You know, I've got a couple little rosettes. I think it's gonna look great. In my opinion, it looks much better than what's existing. This, I did another float on the upper because it was kind of funky. Dang it, it's stuck in mud. So I wanted to get that a little more even. So that needs to be sanded out. And then I started working on this. And what I'm doing, that's the other thing. So I fixed two corners, and that's as far as I can go, because that starts the whole process of mud all the way over again. So this corner was all funky. I fixed it with metal tape. Right here. Metal reinforced corner tape. And then this in the closet where you guys are going to be working. Now this was okay down to about here. So you can see where I started the tape. Ran that down. This has two coats on it now, skim coated. I'm going to sand it, that's done. Now this was not in the original estimate that I gave. This was something that they said they were having as a project for themselves and not to include it. So this is something that I'm doing for free. And that's where I'm starting to see. I just want it to be known I'm giving you a great deal, and I'm not skipping corners, and it's costing me a little bit. So up here, I'm gonna take off my shoes. Up here, a couple questions, but I got that cut in. Now that is dirtier than sin. That's the word I was gonna say. So we didn't really talk about it, but there's a quarter round in the wood color that goes along the side up there. I'm hoping we don't paint it because the quarter round down here isn't painted, and it's like a border between the paneling and the top. Let me know if I'm supposed to paint it. This beam down here, we talked about it going to match the other beams possibly. But what I'm noticing now, and this is my fault. So if you've ever painted paneling, every time I'm cutting in one of these, I've got to like wiggle my brush up in each one of these grooves to try and get it in there, right? So when the corners coming down, it's a pain in the butt. Now where I'm worried about it, that window. So this window, I've got one little piece up top with the funky, you know, cross hatching, and then a straight piece there, and it looks relatively easy. This window is a nightmare. So if I have to do it this way, the easiest way for me to do so would be to paint that inner trim, so I can kind of slop it onto that trim and then have a smooth surface to cut against. So that'd be the easiest way. Let me know what you want to do. Also, you've got a piece of window trim at the top there, a quarter round, but there's nothing on any of the other windows here. So I'm assuming probably want to pull that off and paint it. So let me know on that. Now, so we have that window needs to get done. These side panels, you know, it's going to end up being probably another week. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But this paneling generally needs one primer, 2 coats of paint. So it can be a little bit of a pain in the butt. We're just going to keep going, see where we get. This didn't take too long. It's hot up here, so it dries quickly. My main concern is getting all the mud done. So if I can get, I can't make any promises about the weekend. It's Easter weekend, and I don't know what I'm doing yet. I have to go now down to a bid because it's summertime and my summer projects are starting to get a little irritated, and I charge $65 an hour for that stuff. So I'm eager to not cut any corners here, but finish this up so I can get on to make, that's where I make my money for the season. So yeah, we'll sand this down. This needs texture in the sand. So probably besides the bathroom, I'd have one more day of mud. So we'll see what I do. I'm trying to get all the mud done. I have enough to finish. Trying to get that bathroom done. And then I'm cleaning up the corners. I come across, I knock off all this stuff, and then I sand it down, round off the corner a little bit. Nothing major other than that. I'm going to turn the heat off, turn the water off. And then, so I've probably got most of next week, and then there's going to be a full day of cleanup in here. So hopefully you're happy with what you're seeing. I'm very proud of the results, and I'm doing my best to try and make it look a little more professional, because when you're looking at, like, see all this funky, they didn't take the time to sand all that. They left fat lines, and I could do that, but that's just not the way I like to do things. So I'm not leaving big scratches in the wall. I'm not leaving big trowel marks down here. I'm not doing big old lines and stuff going crossways where that's them taking the knife like this. Trying to clean up corners like this. So, I mean, maybe I got the wrong idea, but anyway, that's how I like to do things. And so it's taking a little longer than I thought to get it that way. This isn't my, so in the future, time and material would be great. I hope I've earned your trust that my original estimate, I was hoping to do time and material, and I still would have done time and material not to exceed. But for jobs like this where I'm dealing with dry time and different things, I like to give you an idea. But it just really works a lot better if I can do time and material with people that actually trust that I'm going to do the work. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to get out of here. Like, look at this. I wouldn't leave that. That's a big old fat trowel mark. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to get out of here, and then we'll talk soon.